Welcome back, everybody, to more Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Last time we played, we came back to Tatooine to help out Mission's brother with his tech gland problem, and we got a call to action to go to Manon. Now, obviously, that was already part of our plan, but now the game has given us a reason, and part of that reason is to take Jolee Bindo with us, as it seems to be a very good friend of his is having some legal trouble. Huh. All right. Don't need to hear much more than that. So, Karth.
Yes, what's on your mind?
It's been a while. So, why do you want revenge on Saul so badly?
I already told you, he betrayed us all.
Come on, Karth, you're not fooling me, dude.
Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it.
I asked, didn't I?
It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time.
Jesus, so what happened after that?
I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them, and I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left.
So, I didn't mean to pry, I just curious.
Oh, it's all right, I don't mind. You deserve some kind of, explanation.
So, what happened to your wife? What happened to your son? You mentioned your wife died, but you never mentioned him.
His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, that's the story, for what it's worth.
Thanks for telling me.
I've, never talked about it before to anyone. Suppose it's time I finally did.
Alright. Hey, so Bastila, we haven't talked about this, so we might as well.
How can I help?
Oh, you're not
Can I
talking to me
suggest
at all right now, are you? Shit, okay. Never mind. Let's go talk to Juhanni. Last time we talked about her, desire to become a Jedi and the Jedi that she looked up to.
Yes.
Is something wrong?
I have been bothered by something of late.
Sure. Well, what's up?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
What?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside, trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Tatooine.
What are you saying?
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastila. Taris, my homeworld.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that's... Yikes. That's unfortunate. Look, you can be mad at me, but they didn't blow the planet up because of me. They blew it up because of Bastila, technically. I'm just a minor issue. They didn't even know I existed until Bastila showed up and started swinging that laser sword around. So technically being mad at me seems a little ridiculous. So maybe being mad at me doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I'm not saying that your feelings aren't valid. I'm just saying that maybe taking out your anger on me is a little silly, or a little misplaced at best. Bastila is critical to defeating the Sith, though, so...
Oh, yes. I have been told all about her vaunted powers with the Force. Her battle meditation that can turn the tide of any conflict. Well, if it could, then why could Taras not have been saved?
To be fair with you, I really didn't know if they were going to destroy Terrace. That wasn't part of the plan. Our plan was to get Bastila and get off before they even noticed. If I had known they were going to glass the whole planet, I might have changed my perspective.
What did you think would happen by aiding the Republic? If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood.
Okay. I don't feel like you're being reasonable. I feel like you're blaming me for the outcome of this problem. Technically, I'm just a soldier, lady. I didn't have anything to do with this nonsense, but okay.
Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
I really don't want to sit here. I have no excuse. I did what I thought was right. Unfortunately, Terrace got destroyed in the process. I got nothing for you.
I know. I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand.
You're right. I don't.
I suppose that is to be expected. Everything will turn out for the best, as long as we remain focused on our task. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
Wow. Problem averted. I really don't feel like I really want to lecture someone on the Jedi Code when I am like the worst pupil of said Jedi Code. I don't really follow it. If we're going to be 100% honest with ourselves, I kind of treat the Jedi Code as just a reason to do terrible things or just to exercise my right to use my powers. I've never really used the Jedi Code in a way that made sense or in a way that I think the game would approve of. Every time I've used my powers, the Jedi Code has done nothing but smack me around. I just can't lecture someone on doing what's right when it comes to the Jedi Code.
Got something on your mind, dude?
Why'd you even decide to come along, old man? Weren't you happy on that planet?
You got yourself a fast little ship. I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful.
So you wanted to ride on my ship?
Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing?
If you don't want to answer the question, old man, just say so.
How impatient can one person be? You must have driven your mother mad. All that gurgling and fussing. Babies are cute, but annoying. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny. All of that. Breath like a bantha.
Okay. Did you annoy this person endlessly too?
Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? They're like impatient little children with blasters. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was.
And you traveled with this man?
I did. Just because someone has the Force swirling about them doesn't always mean they have a great destiny. But it doesn't hurt to check it out. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall.
Is there supposed to be some kind of hidden meaning to this?
I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring.
How young are we talking?
Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand.
And go on.
Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed too. Those could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing.
You're kidding. You're kidding, right? This is a joke. This is a really bad taste joke.
Everyone panics and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you?
I hate you, old man.
Well, now that's the ingratitude of youth for you. I relate an exciting tale, and do I get thanked for it? No. It's all me. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry, and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
I don't want to talk to you ever again. I don't want to talk to you ever again. Please, just go away. Oh, God. Oh, this is what I get for picking this game up. Manon, here we go. I swear to God, I cannot handle this crew. This crew makes no sense. We're the worst crew ever. I'm stuck with an old man who did nothing but jabber on about some guy and his great destiny. And I'm still not sure whether or not what he told me was an actual joke or just him fucking with me. Is it real? Is it a joke? Was he fucking with me just because he thinks it's funny? I don't know. I'll never know, because the guy's never gonna fucking tell me. He probably just made that shit up just to fuck with me. That's what makes it worse. Is because how do you doubt an old person? You can't. Especially not one that's also a Jedi. You kind of assume they have it all up there. But then you remember the Jedi Order is a little wonky.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manon is covered by nothing but vast oceans.
It did look like it was underwater.
The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
You better hope so, because I ain't drowning for nothing. The job already sucks, and I'm not being paid. Christ. And I had to talk to an old man. That was the worst part of it.
Yeah, what do you want?
You know anything about this world?
Waterworld's never had much of an appeal for us to conquer. They may put up a good fight in their own environment. No match for us, of course. But they don't really have anything of value either. The thing this world is good for is a substance known as Kolto. Kolto is the single best healing substance in the galaxy. But the Mandalore are not as weak and fragile as your Republic and Sith warriors. When we enter a battle, we carry weapons powerful enough to pulverize cities. Both in our wars and in our own personal combats, there are no survivors. So Kolto does not hold the appeal it does for your peoples. You have anything else you want to ask?
You know, you don't have to be...
Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
You know, dude, I really want to like you, but you really rub me the wrong way like 99% of the damn time. But then I remember, I'm kind of into like badness right now, so you might just be my type after all. It's possible. Yo, Mission, your brother's still a scumbag.
Hey there. What?
Want to talk about your brother?
I'm not gonna worry about Griff anymore. Like you said, he brought this on himself. Besides, he always treated me like garbage. Now it's payback time.
Oh, excellent. So when your brother succeeds, I have no reason to pay you anything. It's great to hear. So for this particular mission, Jolee Bindo and Mr. Canderous Ordo is going to be joining us for this little party. I am hoping Canderous turns out to be just as an attractive man as anything else, and I'm hoping that two cantankerous old people actually turn this into a pretty fun mission. I hope. I genuinely hope. That would be fucking fantastic if that's how this worked out. It might not. This could actually work out to be very bad for me. But you know what, guys? It's the price you pay sometimes. Mandalorian battle armor. Because I'm sure that's exactly what you want on a life. Two and 11. I don't think I was actually able to even like upgrade this thing either. I tried. Lord knows I tried. I tried, and I tried some more. But now you got that good looking Mandalorian armor.
Yes?
Looking like a... I don't got anything. Sorry. Alright, boys and girls. Here we are on Manan.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the Galactic Senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The Senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
You know, is it really murder?
Yeah, what do you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude.
Why do the Sith upset you so much, dude? They're just a bunch of bullies.
Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere.
So the Sith and Republic are coexisting peacefully. Well, relatively.
Peacefully? Not hardly. Just look in their eyes. You can see they'd like nothing more than to kill each and every one of us. Personal-like.
Oh, that's almost sexual. I love it. They mean well, but are misguided.
You're joking, right? The smug hut spawn push us every chance they can get and enjoy it. There's nothing we can do, though. The Selkath want to maintain their neutrality, and they enforce it very strictly. So we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe Kolto export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether.
So why are the Sith on Manon anyways?
Well, for the Kolto, of course. Really, that's the only reason anyone would want to be here. It's the only reason the Selkath built Ahto City in the first place, to explore Kolto.
The Republic and Sith both stay here?
The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling Kolto to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of Kolto on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require?
Never mind, I gotta go.
Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Those directions were terrible, but I will get by. So here we are on Manon, and Manon, these guys don't really play around. There's one thing about Manon you will learn quite quickly, and that is they don't mess around with their rules. Their rules are very, very, very strict. If you act up, you get in the hands, and they will throw you in prison in a heartbeat. They do not care, and they will do so for free. I tell you right now, they don't care about you. They don't care about your fucking feelings. They will throw you in prison in a heartbeat without so much as a second thought, because to them it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It matters nothing to them. Let's also do a couple cryo bands and a couple Ooh, 700 credits for a plasma grenade. I'll keep the cryo bands. All right. Well, more than likely, Dark Jedi aren't gonna jump me in the city. They're not that fucking dumb, I'd assume. All right, Jolee, you've bent my arm.
Got something on your mind?
You never did actually say why you wanted to come along, but I'm tempted just not to waste my time. And you'll probably just evade me anyways. I'll save that. Tell me about Sunry. How do you know him?
What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. Well, I don't expect much these days.
I don't want to engage with you. I just feel like if I engage with you, it's just going to be a hellish hellscape I'm going to have to live with. And the thing is, Jolee, like, I've had to engage with the whiny Republic soldier. I don't want to engage with you if you're just going to mock me. I just don't have the patience for it. Alright, the visitors area. Who are you? No. I have no interest in your Pazak. Alright, get a real game. Alright, it's called Witcher 3. Alright, that shit's for real, homie. That is a real game. What are the rules exactly? The single most important law in Manon is very simple. Coltol smuggling is punishable by death. If you're carrying any unprocessed coltol, you better have a permit. The other rule is very simple. Keep the peace. Here on Manon, we maintain a peaceful and careful neutrality. That's it? That's the only two laws? Don't be foolish, human. Of course we have laws against murder, theft, and other crimes. But these laws are hardly different from those of any other planet. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm not paying you. I don't pay docking fees. Force persuade.
The Jedi Council wouldn't approve, but they always were a little stodgy about using the Force on people. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Thank you! Finally, someone gets it! Somebody finally understands I'm not paying a docking fee. I don't care. I refuse to pay it. Oh, God. I don't want to speak to you, though. Okay, let's have this conversation. You never mentioned why you joined the party, and it's probably in my best interest to actually get a reason out of you, despite the fact you're going to fight me on this for the next 2 or 3 hours. But so be it.
No, I never did I?
You know, I don't have to take you with me, right? Like, I can just leave you.
Of course you do. I know things, remember? You think you could make it around this part of the galaxy without me? Don't answer that. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on.
Yeah, you look pretty happy to me.
You live in an overgrown stump with a tax beating down your door, and you tell me how happy you would be. I was pleased just to have visitors. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask?
No, I guess not.
There. Now, was that so hard? An old man has to be allowed some petty eccentricities. Nice to see you agree for once. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued.
You know what my destiny is?
Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick.
So you're coming along not to offer your opinions?
I'll remind you that you're the one who started pumping me for information. Like an old man doesn't have anything better to do. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. That can't be all bad.
Who's Nomi?
Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day.
I didn't bring you along for amusement. I didn't bring you along for amusement. So you're along as some kind of observer?
Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
Jolee, I either hate you or I love you, and I don't know which one it is. Just be happy I don't. Just be happy I haven't made up my mind yet. And I'm also quite happy you didn't sit there and fucking give me trouble because I decided to not pay a docking fee, because I still don't think I'm gonna ever pay it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not paying a docking fee. You're not making me pay it. I have force powers. Why would I pay your dumb docking fee if I don't absolutely have to?
There's a lot of money to be made in the Republic in times like these. To survive, of course.
I don't want to go to the Coltol Distribution Center. I don't care about it. It's absolutely silly. Well, we gotta find this dude, right? He's currently being held hostage, or... well, maybe hostage is probably a little bit rough.
Jolee, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolee. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolee. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Elora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Elora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
Yeah, of course we will. Right? Because this can't go wrong. And besides, they're neutral. Isn't that their whole gimmick? Neutrality among all of the things. Surely this can't be into... oh god, this is just gonna be a nightmare.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor.
Taunts and threats are not sufficient provocation in the eyes of this court. Words can be ignored, which is what your men should have done. Jesus, 10,000 credits. I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry. That is acceptable. I believe the Manon legal tradition that the defendant can have an arbiter who tries to prove his innocence in court. The arbiter is a neutral party that can investigate the present evidence in trial and argue on the defendant's behalf. You are a Jedi. I believe you could fulfill this role adequately.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him.
So be it. You are now appointed arbiter in the case of Sunry versus the Sith Empire. Your name and position have been recorded in our files. I will now inform you of the pertinent facts in this case, and you will have a limited amount of time in which to investigate and organize a defense of your client. I advise you use it wisely. Sunry was seen leaving a hotel, leaving behind a dead Sith woman, Alassa Huras. He has been charged with murder, and is being held in Alto City prison facilities due to his crippled status. Witness claims to have seen the killing and are being detained in a hotel in question pending the trial. The manager of the hotel has now been informed of your appointment. Alassa was found dead of a blaster wound with incriminating Republic metal clutched in her hand. This information has been uploaded to your datapad. It would be wise to review all information before the trial starts. You may question Sunry or the witnesses. The evidence in this case is heavily stacked against Mr. Sunry. I believe it will take some doing to absolve him of guilt.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
You may also interview the judges here, including myself, to get an idea of pertinent factors in this case. Since this is also your first case, and you were an off-worlder, I feel compelled to add good luck as my final missive. Well, the guy supposedly murdered someone, and she was holding on to a Republic medal. I'm starting to see why they think he did it. Next time on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, we will continue our journeys through Manan and begin our Phoenix Wright-like investigation of Sunry v. Sith Empire? Sith, military? Sunry versus the Sith. Mach 1. Next time, everybody. Have a good one.